Hello, welcome to the next video. What we're moving on to now is the idea of time and time intervals, okay? Hopefully some of you will have seen this before and it's a little bit revision, but it does come up in the Nat 3, Nat 4 numeracy unit. So if we get this done and recap it, then that means when we get back to school, we can sort of power through that unit, hopefully, and move on. Also, one of the next topics we're going to go on to is the idea of distance, speed and time and working with that equation, and this will be important for that. So, first off, let's just make it clear. What I mean by a time interval is how much time has passed between 2 points. So if I say, how long is it between 25 past 12 and 1:15, I'm asking for the time interval between those two times. Okay? It could be as simple as how much time has passed between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Okay? But it could be slightly more complicated. Okay? There's a few ways we can do this. If you're looking online or on Bitesize and places for revision, you might see this done a couple of different ways. Okay? I'm going to do one way, and it's probably the way I'll stick with in class and stuff as well. If, however, you find a different way that works better for you, that's fine, okay? Stick with your own method, but I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest method for doing it, okay? And that basically splits down into two steps. So I always deal with it in this order. So the first thing I do, is deal with the minutes, okay? And then secondly, I deal with the hours, and then you can just pop those together and you've got your total. Okay, so let's start off with a fairly nice simple example so you can see what I mean by this. Okay, so let's say, oh sorry, you can't see that. Let's say you're asked to work out how much time has passed between 12:10 and 14:20. Okay, might seem a simple example, but that means it's good to illustrate it. Okay, also, if you're not familiar with 24-hour time, let me know and I'll make another video going over that if it's needed. Okay, so first thing, let's deal with the minutes. Okay, so what I mean by that is, starting at 12:10, I want to add on minutes until it matches what we're trying to get to, okay? So, to go from 10 to 20, what I want to do is add 10, okay? So if I add 10 onto that, that's going to give me 12:20, okay? I've added on those 10 minutes, and now I'm at 12:20. Now those match, I want to deal with the hours, okay? So, now I've got 12:20. How many hours do I have to add to make it up to 14:20? Okay, well, that's 12 till 2, so I have to add 2 hours, okay? And if I add 2 hours, that gets me up to 14:20, which is my final time, okay? So, to get from 12:10 to 14:20, what I've done is I've added 10 minutes, and then I've added 2 hours, so the total time between them, I'm just going to write TI instead of time interval, okay? The time between them is 2 hours and 10 minutes, okay? We've just popped together these two things I added on, and it's given us our answer, okay? We'll do another simple one like that before then we look at a slightly more complex one, okay? So, next one, let's say I want to work out what the time interval is between 6:15 and 9:45. Okay, let me just move this up. So, let's start with dealing with the minutes, okay? I'm at 6:15. How many minutes do I have to add on to this to get up to 45? Okay, well, I need to add 30 minutes, don't I? Okay. So 6:15 add 30 minutes is going to be 6:45. Okay, remembering it will come up later. 60 minutes and an hour, important factor we'll need to know. Okay, now let's deal with the hours. So I'm at 6:45. How many hours do I have to add on to 6:45 to get to 9:45? Well, I have to add 3, don't I? Okay. So if I add 3 hours onto 6:45, that gets me to 9:45. Okay. There's my start time down to my end. So overall, my time between those, what I've had to add on to this to get here is 3 hours. 3 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, or if we wanted to be fancy, we could say 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours. Either of those is fine. Okay, so next, let's look at one where it's not quite so obvious what we do with the minutes. Okay, and where the fact that there's only 60 of them in an hour will be really important. Okay, so now we're going to say how much time has passed between 15:30 and 18:10. Okay, we'll do it the exact same way, but there's going to be a little extra step in there. Okay, so let's start with the minutes. Okay, we're starting at 15:30. Well, how many minutes do I have to add to that to get to 10? I can't add anything to 30 to get to 10, can I? Okay, and we can't take away for this. So we need to split this up, okay? So what I'm going to do is see how many minutes I have to add to get this to the next full hour, okay? So I have to add 30 minutes to this. So 30 minutes added on to 3:30, that will make it 4 o'clock. Okay, because remember, 60 minutes. And now, we still haven't made the minutes match, okay? But they're closer. So now I'm at 4 o'clock. How many minutes do I have to add to get this to be 10? Well, I have to add 10, don't I? And that will make it 16:10. Okay, now that the minutes match, I can deal with the hours. So if I'm at 16:10 or 4:10 in the afternoon, how many hours do I need to add to get it up to 18? Okay, to get it up to 6 o'clock. Well, I have to add 2 hours, don't I? Okay, so 16:10 plus 2 hours takes me to 18:10. Okay, and then to get the time interval, just like the other ones, we pop all these together to get a total. Okay, so I had 30 minutes plus 40 minutes. Sorry, I had 30 minutes plus 10 minutes. So I've got 40 minutes altogether, and I've got 2 hours. Okay, so my answer then, the time between those is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, now, this whole thing might be something you can do in your head, no bother, okay? But it is easy to get a little bit stuck or to muddle yourselves up, which is why we do this working, okay? And it will be tested in the unit tests, so it's good to really make sure you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to write down one more example where we have to split the minutes up for us to look at before I set you some work to do yourself. Okay, so here we're wanting to find out the time interval, how much time has passed between 4:35 and 10:20. Okay, so Again, first we'll start with the minutes, okay? I want to make them match. There's nothing I can add to 35 though to make it be 20, okay? Because we can only add. So what I need to do is add to 35 until I get to the next full hour, and then I can add to make this, okay? So how many minutes do I need to add to 4:35, 25 to 5, to make it the next full hour? Okay, well, how much do I need to add to 35 to make it be 60? Well, I have to add 25, don't I? Okay, so if I add on 25 minutes, that will take me to 5 o'clock. And now I want to look at what do I have to add to 5 o'clock to make it be 20, to make the minutes match there, okay? Now, well, if I add on 20 minutes to this, oh sorry, I should have done that in red, that will make that be 5:20, okay? And now the minutes match, okay? So now the minutes match, I want to deal with the hours. So I'm just going to sort of circle this in red so we know it has to be added on later. Okay. So now I'm at 5:20. How many hours do I need to add to 5:20 to make it be 10:20? Okay. Well, I have to add on 5 hours, don't I? Okay. So 5:20 plus 5, that will give me 10:20. Okay, and that's the time I was after. So then, to work out how much time has passed, the actual time interval, what I want to do is pop all these together. So I've got 5 hours, and I've got 25 minutes plus 20 minutes. That's 45 minutes. Okay, so hopefully that was clear and easy to follow. Another little thing to remember, okay, and I'll look at this in one of our next live meet, okay, but just keep it in mind, is you need to be careful when you're dealing with maybe a start time in the morning and one in the afternoon, that you don't get mixed up with your hours, but we'll look at that in our next meet, okay? Right, thanks for watching, and you know how to get in touch with me if you have any problems. Goodbye.